You have no competition on social media. And that if you actually committed to posting content consistently, you could grow a big audience like your favorite creators. You are guaranteed to grow, and not many people are going to be able to be consistent. But in this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to be consistent. Therefore, you have absolutely no competition and no excuses to grow your dream audience on social media. This is going to be a little bit of a different type of video, a little bit different advice that you normally hear on social media, and we're going to break it all down so you can start growing and monetizing your audience, all while making it easy and fun without feeling like a puppet to the algorithm, without spending hours and hours and days on posting and making content while trying to balance client work and your other businesses, and without all the fancy cringy editing that costs you a lot of money or costs you a lot of time, but still focusing on your authority, brand, and positioning first and foremost. You see, I started creating content back in 2018, 2017 as a photographer. I posted 200 times to then only reach 2,000 followers. I made it a full year just posting one photo a day back in 2018 because I was learning how to take photos. But little did I know that's not quite how you build an audience and a connection, and really build a community online. You do not want to be in the same boat of posting hundreds and hundreds of times without having the right systems, positioning, and brand in place. Once I figured out a couple things, I had some fun influencer friends. They blew up on social media. They have millions of followers now. But eventually I picked up and started to really learn and dive into how to grow on social media. And then I grew 150,000 followers in just 4 or 5 months on Instagram. And in one of my videos that is structured perfectly, I gained 50,000 followers from one video, and now I'm over 200,000 followers on Instagram, and I'm still growing. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how I make my content, how to make it consistent, balance client work, make it fun and easy, make it viral, make it authentic, and check all the boxes so you can run an authentic online business and start monetizing and creating high quality content that you are proud of. So let's dive in right here to the board of truth. This is going to be a really fun video. Let's get right into it. You see, most content creators, and I stole this from Ali Abdel, I really like this mindset, is you're posting content because of a fun hobby or because of more of a business opportunity. Now, if you're following me, you probably are looking more on the business opportunity side of things. But we want to be aware of this sliding scale, because if we treat it too much like a business, we're not really going to be having fun. We're not going to be really authentic, and we're not going to be being personal enough to really build an audience. Now, if you're on the other side of the spectrum here in terms of a hobby, you're not really going to be treating your social media like a business. Eventually, you're going to need more resources to pour into your content, like time or money for an editor, and you're eventually going to plateau. So we got to find a nice balance here between the two. Ideally, we want to be more on the business side so we have the resources and time and money to invest back into our content. So we have to figure out where we want to sit on this scale and where we want to be in terms of our goals in business and content creation and audience and all that. And most creators can't wrap their head around committing to a consistent schedule. And you can relate it to anything else. I've been, relating it back to going to the gym a lot in my content recently, where you have to show up 5 days a week to really get gains in the gym, to really improve your fitness. You might have some gains. You might, reach a little bit of a couple of goals if you won't go to the gym 1 or 2 times a week. But realistically, in that 5-day-a-week sprint for 3 months, you're going to blow past everybody and you're going to be completely unrecognizable in just a few months. But it's not going to happen in a week. It's not going to happen in 3 weeks. It's going to happen in a few months of consistent, dedicated work. And content and audience creation is the same thing. And this is where a lot of creators fall into, is they are scared to commit to the process of content creation. With a good training plan and a workout and nutrition plan that you will get gains. It's like scientifically backed that if I lift the weights and have hypertrophy and do 3 sets of 10, whatever it is, on whatever program you want, it's scientifically backed that you are going to get results. Now, the thing with content creation is, at least when I started, I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to get the results, that I didn't know exactly what was going to happen if I committed my time. But yet the only way to really grow on social media is to fully commit. You have to blindly trust the process so you can start growing. So this is another big mistake that most creators make, is they don't commit to the process. And that's going to be the most important thing that we're going to go over in this video, because we're going to make it sustainable. And I'm going to make sure you're confident enough to, when you do commit to this sustainable schedule, that you're going to actually get the results. And you have to trust yourself to actually show up and do the work, because anyone can build an audience. And there really is not much competition, because, well, not everyone's watching this video and they're going to struggle if they don't. The last really big fear that a lot of people have is feeling inauthentic, feeling cringy, just feeling like they are faking it online and not being authentic. And of course, to really build a good audience, you're going to want to be as authentic as possible. Film videos like this where you can just talk for 20, 30 minutes at a time and not really do too much editing. At the same time, we need to learn how to package our content and format our content in a way that's digestible and understandable for people. So we do need to learn copywriting and writing formats and how to actually film content and making our content look pretty, because it's just easier on the eyes. And what I find with a lot of my clients is they struggled with packaging their ideas, their value, and their content in a way that actually goes viral, but also feels authentic to them. But after I taught them a few of these frameworks in this video that I'm going to show you, they figured out how to actually format their videos in a way that makes sense, that they feel good about, and that is well received on the other end. So I'm not talking about ChatGPT shortcuts. I'm not talking about stealing from other creators. I'm not talking about copying viral videos. And I'm not talking about just ranting to the camera and hoping that someone picks up what you're saying, because there is a format to all of this and there is systems that we can do. Because if you don't feel good about what you're posting, or you don't fully trust the process and you don't fully commit the time to the schedule, and if you don't treat your content like a business instead of a hobby, you are not going to be able to grow on social media. Because realistically, to really go deep with your audience, we want to be on YouTube, we want to be on Instagram, we want to have our own newsletter to really have that depth to our audience. We also still need to have that commitment to our time, because a lot of creators don't, and they never end up starting or never end up actually gaining that traction. And we still have to not fake it on social media, and we have to be our authentic selves to really grow an audience. So the first thing we're going to need is our very own system. And this is the OG system. I started a community last year of 100 creators. They're all paying me like a low ticket, like $100 a month sort of thing. And it was an awesome time. And I was helping everybody create content systems. And the first system I made was the Creator Catalyst system. And that's what my Catalyst business is now, which helps freelancers and creative people transition into a more creator-led business in 4 months. And I actually help people earn their first $10,000 a month online. If you're interested in any of the templates, resources, or want to get connected, you can click the link to join my free school community in the description. There's lots of good stuff in there, so go take a look. And if you want to work directly with me, you can DM me with the word 56 on Instagram. We can have a chat. You can check out some more information about that. Now, the OG Creator Catalyst system, now turned Catalyst, is super simple. We need to post content efficiently and effectively, which basically means we need to post viral content that's easy to make. Right? I would love to have a Netflix documentary crew running around and filming day in the life videos of me. Unfortunately, I don't have the money for that. It's a little expensive. Also, probably going to take a lot of time, because their whole, film production crew is going to have to make me do different takes and blah, 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 set up their camera, set up their lighting, right? Great content, not really realistic for my schedule and life, right? But I would love to do it. It would be a fun project. Also, if I even paid, $100,000 for a film crew, is it even going to go viral? So we have to really define like what is good content. And I think content is authentic and easy to make. So it's efficient and effective. So that's what I mean by we're filming viral content and easy to film content. So it needs to be received well, reach the right people, reach a lot of people, but also be easy to make and not break the bank or break your whole day making edits and content, right? And then we have to find, and basically what this means is we have to find viral ideas on social media, good ideas that have proven to do well, that people are already interested in. So if everybody in your niche is making videos about lighting or scripting or how to run a business or how to do push-ups correctly or how to get your first handstand, whatever the micro idea is, we need to figure that out. And we need to see, we'll dive into your niche together. You can do it yourself. My clients do it with me personally and get my own advice on what the micro topics are in their niche that really help them start filming and finding that viral content that they really want. So we have to find proven viral ideas through your niche. That's going to be micro topics, etc. And then we're going to get really good at making content. So that's the actual execution of what we're going to be covering. So I also give my clients a minimal viable quality check mark. So once they send me videos and I'm like, this is good, you have minimal viable quality, that's what I call it, you can go viral. The quality of your posts are good enough where you can just start making content and go viral and you're going to be all good there. So that's what you really want. You want that check mark that the execution is good and that you have a good topic idea. And then that's going to be be the key to go viral. So if you have a good topic, good execution, you're going to go viral 100%. And then the next thing we got to figure out that system and schedule that works for you. Again, I would love a Netflix style documentary coming to my house and filming day in the life videos. That's not really feasible. I am a professional photographer. I have 2 cameras. I could film with my iPhone if I wanted to. I have a microphone, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to just use a whiteboard here because sometimes when I travel, I don't want to have like a actual whiteboard and write that out. So this is my system and schedule. I filmed like 2 or 3 videos today, not YouTube videos, like some short form videos too. That's my schedule, and that's what makes it easy and fun for me and also makes sense. So the content is actually going to be perceived well and it fits into my schedule. So that's kind of the main idea of Creator Catalyst system. I have a full course on this too in my school community, which is cool. It's V1 of what I've been doing over the past few years, helping creators make better content. So this is a fun video. We're going to really dive into here. So really that's all we're trying to do is find your schedule. What are you going to be posting? How are you going to make it efficient to be posting it? And how are you going to do that? Like lock that into your schedule every day while balancing client work and all the other fun stuff we do in life. And then the next part is what we're actually going to be posting. So like what topics, how are we going to be posting it? Is it vertical, horizontal? What camera are you going to use? All that stuff. And then how are you going to post it as well? So like what platforms are you going to be using? How are you going to be packaging your audience? How are you going to share it? ManyChat on Instagram? Are you going to be on YouTube? Are you going to be like plugging it in newsletters and all that? All of this kind of goes into what you're going to post and how you're going to be posting it. And that's kind of like the basics of the Creator Catalyst system. Now let's go over the execution and that minimal viable quality I was just talking about, because I think this is actually where most creators miss the mark on. And as a professional photographer before, videographer, I've seen a lot of stuff. I made a lot of content. I've been going viral and posting content for a few years now. So for minimal viable quality, we need a few things to really make this work. First thing we need is timing and pacing. So when you're scrolling on your feed, does the timing of your script, the pacing, when does everything really come in? Does it flow? Is it exciting? Does it make sense? Does it flow with the other videos that you see on your Instagram account? So if you have that like millennial pause, that first like half second you don't start talking in your videos, you don't have minimal viable quality. That is kind of the nuances that we're looking at in timing and pacing for success on social media. The next one we're looking at is lighting and camera quality. I've made a lot of videos about like the actual camera quality of how to film your content. And to be honest with you, like a little secret, that is just to go viral. That really doesn't matter all that much. As long as you have minimal viable quality and your lighting and camera quality is good enough, which to be fair, some people don't like it's not good enough. But typically if it's good enough, it's not the reason why you're not going viral. It's more of a timing, pacing, emotion type of thing. So if you can just have like some good lighting, good camera quality, like find a window, get a softbox, make sure you look half presentable, film on your iPhone if you want to, just don't make it too dark, don't make it too shaky, don't make it an eyesore, and you're probably good. The little bit of pixels and the color grades and all that, it doesn't matter all that much as long as you're in the ballpark of that virality. That viral style content. Another thing that we're going to need is scripting and structure. So we need to be completely dialed on how we're writing our content. I have some videos on this in the past, but basically it's a very specific model of like you introduce yourself with a hook, a cliffhanger, some sort of fun, interesting topic. Then you're going to say your credibility statement. Then it's a clear transition into your value prop and you're going to spit some game and have some fun in your videos. But you have to line this up very purposefully and it can be in a very authentic way. You just got to make sure that you're delivering this information in a clear way and laying it up. So let's say someone has neck pain. You wouldn't say, here's an exercise to help your neck. Like that doesn't, like I don't really care about an exercise to help my neck. That doesn't mean anything to me. You would want to start and package that video up. If your neck always hurts and you're struggling on your phone or trying to talk to someone and it's always at the back of your head with your neck pain, then here are 3 simple exercises that helped me fix my own neck pain. That is a mix of credibility that you've done it before, that is calling out their own pain point and their own actual pain of how it feels, how it affects their life, and then you're giving them the information and the exercise is the antidote for them to fix their neck pain, right? So these are the scripting and and structures that I talk about that a lot of people need to hit. And then the last major category of minimal viable quality is just the editing style and the overall pop culture trends. So if you're using lightning bolts and transitions and crazy colors and all this other kind of overbearing editing style, it's not gonna work. It's gonna be too abrupt on the algorithm and people are gonna get a little confused about what you're actually saying. It can literally take away from the experience. So if all of the videos, if 9 out of 10 videos use white text, then use white text. That's just pop culture trends. Don't reinvent the wheel. So do not use pink text to prove your point. You're gonna use white text because that's just the most popular. You can be creative, you can have your fun, but you need to be creative within this pop culture trend of social media. So if, when in doubt, you have to start scrolling and really figuring out, you know, what's in style, what's the editing style like. And I think that is pretty important just so people are used to seeing that style of content. Now, if you have all of these checked off, you definitely have that minimal viable quality check, which is awesome. All of my clients kind of get a personal audit from me. And now we can just focus on basically scripting, structure, and ideas. That's that last foundation that's really going to make the difference, because if your timing and pacing is good, if your lighting and camera quality is good, if your editing style and the pop culture trend and the positioning is good, then all we need to worry about is scripting and structure and the actual ideas of our content, right? So that's how we're going to get good execution. Now, to achieve minimal viable quality, to really understand this, all we're going to need is just a lot of practice and reps, right? This is going to be super important to just learn a new skill. It is a new skill. You're not going to get it on the first try. That's why, you know, a lot of advice of just start does make sense, because eventually you know where your work needs to be and it's not there yet. And the only way to get your work to that point is doing a volume of work to get to that point. So just make 100 videos, and then you will improve. And then eventually you'll achieve minimal viable quality. And then you will be able to go viral, and eventually you will 100% have that viral video. And that kind of goes back to that beginning of the video of a lot of creators quit before they even get to their 100th video because they haven't fully committed to themselves to grow an audience and make content. And then the last thing, kind of like I was saying up here, is that scripting and writing, packaging your writing and skills, right? So this is copywriting. This is your positioning and making it fun and interesting for people. I almost take it as a challenge of how can I make a topic that is a little bit more intense, a little bit more boring to the average person, but how can I package it and script it in a way that's fun for everybody? I want to inspire people to learn more about this new topic. So if I want to inspire people to learn more about online business and email marketing, typically it's a little boring, but there is a way to structure and write your content and lay it up and package it up so people enjoy it and people are interested in it. Because all of the hobbies we've had that we do right now, we were at some point persuaded, or at some point we found it curious. Something happened in our own lives that made us curious about what we do now. Whether you're in fitness, whether you're in meditation, yoga, you're a creative person, you're a photographer, videographer, whatever it is, at some point we found it interesting because of something. And it is now your job to spark that interest to someone else in your audience and all of that. So that's the way I'd really look at it. And that's why like packaging and really writing your own content is truly a skill in itself. And that's why AI can never replace it, because they don't feel that emotion of why you started in the first place. Okay, so now that we actually can post content, make a couple viral videos, how do we actually build a community and an authentic audience? Well, what we're going to need for that is our very own content ecosystem. Our content ecosystem is essentially that zoomed out personal brand that is more and more important than ever. We can't just be on one platform anymore. We really need to have our own email list, our own YouTube channel, our own Instagram account, and really be connecting with people on multiple different platforms in different locations to really build an authentic and deep connection with your audience. And of course, if you're ready to monetize and launch your personal brand, you're going to need to do this, because that's the only way to generate that trust and really build that digital empire that you want. So in the next video, I'm going to talk about exactly how to launch your content ecosystem, how you can have all of your ideas cohesive and really pull everything together so you can sell as you sleep, and you're building your audience in many different locations and layers, and you're really leaving a mark on your niche and becoming the best in your industry. I will leave you there with that. I will catch you you in the next video. That is going to be the content ecosystem video, and that's going to be the 4th video in this 6-part mini series. Feel free to check out the school community if you want all my templates, free structures, and everything else if you would like to connect. If you would like to work with me and learn a little bit more about content creation and launching your own creator style business and escape freelance work, then you can DM me the word 56 on Instagram. And with that being said, I will see you in the next video. Link is going to be in the description or around here.